Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Peace. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be with you once again. Welcome. Peace be with you. Most of us are aware intellectually that we are not the body or the mind. That the world as we see it and know it does not exist. Everything that we believe to be solid and true is a lie. Yet we only understand this intellectually. This is why we do spiritual practices. For great masters and great sages have explained to us that to the extent you cause the mind to be quiet, everything to be quiet, to that extent you start to realize something else. It happens by itself. In other words, if the mind slows down, this illusory universe slows down also, and you start to pick up a new vibration. You start to feel something else entirely, something different. While you're on this path, something happens to you. You begin to feel different. If you've been practicing self-inquiry, or if you've been practicing the other methods to slow the mind down, you will find certain attributes happening to you. And this is when you know that you're making progress. The first understanding that you receive is that there is absolutely nothing to fear in this entire universe. You start to become fearless. I don't mean you become an idiot and you don't care about anything. And you make a fool out of yourself and you say, I'm fearless. Or you stand in front of a bus or run in front of a car. I'm not referring to being foolish. But the fact is, you do become fearless. You're beginning to realize that the whole universe emanates out of your mind. So there is absolutely nothing to fear because you are the one. You are the ultimate oneness, the creative energy. This is you. Consequently, there is absolutely nothing to fear. For what can hurt you? The universe becomes your friend, not your enemy. Everything in this world becomes friendly towards you. You find that things begin to work themselves out. People no longer bother you, frighten you. You're beginning to understand your real nature. You were never born, you can never die. Something appears to happen to you where you just become fearless. Everything unfolds the way it's supposed to unfold. There are no mistakes. You feel someplace in your heart that nothing is trying to hurt you, even when things do not appear to work out the way you want them to. You never become disappointed again. For you understand and feel that there is a power that knows the way, that takes care of you, watches over you, leads you on a straight and narrow path. So you become fearless. Not obnoxious or cynical. It's not an I don't care attitude. You have love and wisdom. This is the reason you become fearless. There is a story that illustrates this. There was once a student going to class, and the teacher was explaining to him that he has nothing to fear. God will take care of him. The universe is his friend. And he became pretty ecstatic about this. When the class was over, he was walking down the back road to go to his house. There was a narrow bridge in front of him, and some man came running toward him from the opposite direction, saying, "There's a herd of wild elephants coming your way. Get out of the way quick." And he stood his ground and he said, "What are you telling me this for? I have absolutely nothing to fear. Nothing can hurt me. Nothing can do anything to me. And he kept walking on the bridge, fearless. Well, sure enough, the herd of wild elephants came along, and the first elephant picked him up and threw him over 50 yards away. He was bleeding, broken bones. The master heard about this. One of the students came and told the master, "Master, your student is dying down the road." An elephant picked him up by his trunk and threw him against the tree. The master ran over to the student who was lying there and he said, "What happened?" The student explained to him what happened and he said, "Master, you promised us that God will take care of us. The universe will take care of us. What happened? Why did this happen to me?" And the master said, "You foolish person, why didn't you listen to the person who was telling you to get out of the way?" This was God also, telling you to get out of the way. You should have listened. This is true with us. When I say that you're fearless, do not believe that your ego is going to protect you from harm when you cause problems. Being fearless means that you listen to the trees, you listen to the sky, you listen to the birds, you listen to some people. Everything is God. Everything is the universe helping you. You have to use wisdom to be fearless. So remember, the first attribute that happens to you on the spiritual path is fearlessness. The next attribute that you feel when working on your sadhana, spiritual exercises, spiritual practices, is a sense of peacefulness. You begin to be totally peaceful. Things that used to disturb you will cease, or if it does not cease, you've grown higher and it doesn't disturb you any longer. People that used to disturb you, used to give you trouble, they can no longer make you feel angry or upset. You feel an innate peace, the peace that passeth all understanding. You feel very peaceful in whatever you do. It's a beautiful peace. It's a wonderful feeling. You are at peace with the world and at peace with the universe. You have reconciled yourself with the entire universe, with the mineral kingdom, with the vegetable kingdom, with the animal kingdom, with the human kingdom, and you feel good about yourself. The third attribute that you develop is loving kindness without motive. You become a loving, kind person for no reason at all. You do not think about it, you just become it. Selfishness drops away. The ego becomes less and less. You leave people alone. You do not become judgmental. You live spontaneously. A good example of this is the two monks who were sent from the monastery to go buy supplies in the city. They were walking along the road, it was raining. There was mud all over the floor. They came to a street crossing and they saw a beautiful young lady wanting to cross the street. But she had expensive shoes on and a little dress. So one of the monks picked her up and carried her across. The monks didn't wear any shoes, so it didn't matter. They came back again and it was time for dinner and they sat down to eat. The other monk said, "You know, when we took these vows of celibacy, we were told never to look at a woman. When a woman comes by, we should lower our eyelids and not look at a woman. And you broke the rule. This morning you picked up the girl and you carried her across the street. The other monk smiled at him and he said, "I put her down this morning, but apparently you are still carrying her." As you practice, these attributes become evident in your life without you even knowing it. If you have to think about these things, then you've not yet arrived there. If you have to think about fearlessness, peace, loving kindness, you have not arrived there yet. It is when these things become, quote, natural to you, when they become automatic, then you know you're making headway. You're making real spiritual progress. These three attributes are the first signs of spiritual progress. If you do not have these attributes, it's simply because you're putting your ego first in your life. It is because you are in your own way. You're reacting to the world. You're allowing the world to make you despondent, upset. Therefore, you have to practice a little harder. For you are always practicing something, aren't you? You're practicing your anger, or your disappointments, or your judgments, or to be obnoxious. You're always doing something with your life. Therefore, why not practice peace, loving kindness, fearlessness? Why not understand the truth about yourself? There are many paths to self-realization. Atma Vichara is only one of them. Whatever you have to do, do it. Do not spend your days and your weeks and your months and your years on nonsense. Remember, your body is not here for a long time. What you call your body will have to leave you one of these days. Then where will you be without a body? Therefore, if you're doing things for your body, it's like whipping a dead horse. You should take care of yourself, true, but do not spend too much time taking care of yourself. Do what has to be done, finish with it, and go forward. The more you think of God, the more God will think of you. How do you think of God? When you become peaceful, when you have loving kindness, when you're fearless. How do you become fearless, loving kindness, peaceful? By doing spiritual practices. Choose the spiritual practice that you can live with, whether it's Buddhism, whether it's mystical Christianity, whether it's becoming the witness, becoming the observer of the I thought. Whatever method you have to use, by all means use it, or do something. You are here in this body for no purpose whatsoever. Yet you believe that you're important and there's a reason for you to be here. Some people say, I'm here to find myself. I would answer, no. You are here to lose yourself. Some people say, I've come here for a purpose, to become self-realized. Yet the truth is, there is no one to become self-realized at all. Your body cannot become self-realized. This is why we have such a hard time with this, because we're trying to make the body pure. This is the wrong start. We start from the top. We are already pure. We are already bright and shining. We are already choiceless, effortless, pure awareness. What we're trying to do is reveal it. And you reveal it by losing yourself, getting rid of yourself. Not by adding new teachings onto yourself or learning new dogma, or rather by letting go of everything, especially words. We talk too much. This is one of the things that keep us back from making a lot of progress on the path. We have a tendency to talk too much. We have to work things out. We want to explain things. Yet in reality, there's a power within you that knows what to do without your help. The power that knows the way does not need your help. It needs you to surrender to it. To let go completely and thoroughly, then everything will take care of itself. Again, it's hard to understand how everything takes care of itself. For we've been taught that we've got to do it. If we do not do it, it will not happen. We believe we've got to do it, and this makes you the doer. Where in reality we want to get rid of the doership, that you are not the doer. Ponder these things. There is no one to do anything, yet you appear to be doing something. Do not be confused about this. Paradoxically, you will always be doing something, yet in reality and in truth, you will be doing nothing. There is really no one who has to do anything. You did not ask to be born. So what gave you birth? It goes beyond your father and your mother. The truth is, nothing gave you birth. Really, you were never born. See, these things I'm sharing with you sound ludicrous to some of you. You were never born. Your absolute reality. Your effortless, choiceless, pure awareness. Your boundless space. You have no body. Nothing that you do matters at all. I know to the average person this sounds ludicrous, totally ridiculous, but yet this is the truth. This is the reason I take you down a couple of notches, to show you that as you progress on this path, as you're doing your humanhood, you find yourself becoming happier and happier, more peaceful. Things do not bother you too much. You take control of your life. And then I say, you have no life. There is nothing to take control of. There is nobody home. What a confusion this causes. Yet when your mind does get confused this way, thinking about these things, your mind becomes a little weaker. This is an important step. I'll repeat it. When your mind gets confused thinking, am I the body? Am I not the body? Am I empty space? Just by pondering these questions within yourself, the mind begins to slow down. And this is exactly what you're trying to do, to slow down the mind. So be confused. It's good for you. It's a tremendous help for your unfoldment. When you're not confused, you're simply attached to your beliefs, your preconceived ideas, your concepts, and your linear thinking. When you're confused, your linear thinking begins to break up. Your concepts begin to break up. Your values begin to break up. Everything that you believed and stood for begins to break up, which means you're becoming free. And that is the whole idea, to become free. So when I speak to you from both levels, from the absolute level and from the relative point of view, you understand why I'm doing this. To confound you and confuse you so the mind can be broken up to pieces, fragments, until they disappear. Only when you have your own experience will you know that what I am saying is the truth. This is why I tell you so often, do not believe a word I say. Go out and have your own experience. But yet again, here is a contradiction. It is only when you come to Satsang, when you find a teacher who has gone that way, that you can have your own experience. There are very few people who have had a personal realization without a teacher or without Satsang. Yet it's possible. But it is Satsang and the sage that really ruin your mind, scorch your entire mind, make you mentally deficient, which is a blessing in disguise. When some of you walk out of here, you tell me, you've got me completely confused now. And I say, good. That is what my job is, to confound you, to confuse you, to break up your mind into fragments. My job is not to tell you the things you like to hear. My job is to hit a nerve someplace within you that makes you think, that guy's crazy. He's out of his mind. What's he talking about? That is when you're starting to make spiritual progress. When you totally agree with me, this is a hindrance to your spiritual path. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm asking you to have your own experience and to find the truth for yourself. Think of the experiences you've been having in your life from the moment you open your eyes in the morning until you go to sleep at night. What goes through your mind? What do you feel? What do you see? What do you believe in? What is happening to you every day? The worst thing you can do in the morning is turn on the TV and read the newspaper. That is the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do in the morning when you wake up is to ask yourself, who am I? And what am I doing here? The worst thing you can do at night before you go to sleep is to think about your job, or your family, or your finances, or your sicknesses, or all the other things that have been going on in your life. The best thing you can do before you go to sleep, or when you're going to sleep, is to inquire, to whom do these activities come? To whom of the day's activities come? Who has experienced this day's activities? So you see, it's up to you to do the right thing. Wherever you go in this world, you still have to take yourself. And no one can transcend your mind but you. No one can cause self-realization but you. No one can awaken you but you. You are the one. The world really has nothing to offer you. Your dreams have nothing to offer you. Look to yourself. Look to eternity within yourself. Learn to love yourself. When you're loving yourself, you're loving the universe. For the self is the whole universe. When I say to love yourself, I'm not referring to your small self, your ego self. I'm referring to your real self. Learn to love yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong anywhere in this universe, and that includes your life. Do not react to conditions. Be happy, always. Do not look for things to make you happy. Just be happy. Everything you own, you're going to have to leave when you leave your body. Look to yourself. Everything begins with you. You are the one, and there is no other.